Have you ever felt like you were living in a dream that everyone else insists is real? Like there's a quiet voice inside you that no one else seems to hear, whispering that the story you've been told since birth is only half the truth. Pause for a moment, take a breath, and ask yourself this: what if everything you believed about who you are was carefully designed to keep you asleep? That feeling in your chest right now, the one that says something is missing, is not a weakness. It is your awakening. And if you have felt it, even for a second, then you are not here by accident. You are what the old stories called the chosen one. Not chosen by any church, not named by any religion, but marked by the universe itself to remember what others have forgotten. Before we go any deeper, I want you to type one word in the comments: awake. Just that. Because by typing it, you are not just agreeing with me, you are declaring to yourself that you are ready to hear what they never wanted you to know. And while you're down there, if this message already stirs something in your bones, go ahead and give this video a like. It tells the algorithm that truth still matters, and it tells me that you are serious about seeing this through. You have been taught to look for salvation outside yourself, in buildings, in books, in leaders who claim to speak for God. But what if the greatest secret ever hidden is that the door was never locked? What if the truth they buried under centuries of fear and control is simply this: you were never broken, and you never needed saving, only remembering? In the next few minutes, I am going to tell you everything, not to convince you, but to remind you of what your soul already knows. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear will change, not just what you think, but how you see every single day of your life from this moment on. To understand why the truth has been hidden for so long, you first have to understand a simple but powerful pattern that repeats itself across every civilization, every empire, and every age. Whenever a small group of people discovers a profound truth that could set the masses free, that same truth is almost always reshaped into a cage. Why? Because freedom cannot be controlled, and control is the oldest addiction of power. Long before the systems you see today, ancient traditions spoke of a direct connection between the human being and the source of all existence. In the mystery schools of Egypt, the sages of India, the philosophers of Greece, and the indigenous elders of every continent, there was a common understanding: you are not a mistake. You are not a sinner born in debt. You are a fragment of the divine, temporarily wrapped in flesh, learning to remember your own light. But something changed. As tribes grew into kingdoms, and kingdoms into empires, those in power realized something dangerous. If every person could speak directly to the infinite, then no king, no priest, no ruler would be necessary. So the message was slowly inverted. Instead of "you are divine," they taught "you are fallen." Instead of "you can know truth directly," they said "only we can interpret truth for you." Instead of "the kingdom is within you," they pointed to the sky and said "it is far away, and you can only reach it through us." This is not a conspiracy in the way you might imagine. No single group meeting in shadows. It is something far more subtle and far more ancient. It is a story that rewrites itself in every generation, using the language of whatever culture it inhabits. Sometimes it wears the mask of religion, other times government. Even science and entertainment can become cages when they tell you that you are small, random, and powerless. For centuries, anyone who whispered the older truth was silenced, exiled, or burned, not because the truth was dangerous, but because a person who knows who they truly are cannot be ruled by fear. And fear is the foundation of every system that seeks to control human behavior. Think about it. If you were raised to believe you were born broken, you will spend your whole life looking for someone to fix you. If you believe the truth is hidden in a book only others can read, you will hand over your power to them. If you believe God speaks only through certain channels, you will never listen to the voice inside your own heart. But here is what they never wanted you to realize: the voice inside your heart has never stopped speaking. It has been buried under decades of conditioning, yes, covered by the noise of media, the demands of survival, the endless distractions, but it is still there. And right now, as you watch this, it is getting louder. That is not coincidence. That is your soul pulling you back to the original truth, the one that existed before any religion, before any empire, before anyone told you who you were supposed to be. The philosophers called it the perennial philosophy, the single thread of wisdom that runs through all authentic spiritual traditions. At its core is a shockingly simple idea: you are not your body, you are not your thoughts, you are not your past, your failures, or your fears. You are awareness itself, temporarily dreaming this human life. And once you truly see that, not as a belief, but as a direct experience, the entire game of fear collapses. There is nothing left to control. Let me take you into the heart of what they hid. And I will begin with a simple image. Imagine you are born inside a vast and beautiful house. The house has no doors, only windows. You are told by everyone around you that the world outside those windows is dangerous, that you can never leave, and that the only safety is inside these walls. You grow up believing this. You never even try the doorknobs because you have been taught there are none. But one day, you accidentally lean against a wall, and it swings open. There was a door there all along, no lock, no guard, just a door you were told did not exist. That door is the truth I am about to walk you through. And the first thing you see on the other side is this: the universe is not a machine, it is a mind, and you are not a cog in that machine. You are a thought within that mind. For thousands of years, the deepest esoteric traditions have taught that reality is made of layers. The layer you live in most of the time is the outer shell, the world of names, forms, separations, and struggles. But beneath that shell lies another layer, and beneath that, another. And at the deepest level, there is no separation at all. What we call you, and what we call God, and what we call the universe are three words for the same ocean, just different waves. The ancient Hermetic teachings called this the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. In other words, everything you see, your body, this room, the stars, the pain, the joy, all of it is a thought in the consciousness of the infinite. And here is the part that changes everything. Your own mind is not separate from that infinite mind. You are not a tiny, powerless creature inside a vast, unconscious universe. You are the universe becoming aware of itself, one heartbeat at a time. Now, why would anyone hide this? Because if you truly knew that your thoughts shape your reality, that your attention is the most powerful force in existence, that fear is just a thought you can unlearn, and that love is not an emotion, but the very fabric of all things, then you would never again give your power to any external authority. No politician could promise you safety. No priest could sell you salvation. No advertiser could make you feel incomplete. You would be free. And a truly free human being is the only thing that every empire, throughout all of history, has truly feared. Think about the most common message you have received since childhood. Work hard. Obey. Follow the rules. Don't ask too many questions. Save for tomorrow. Fear the unknown. Trust the experts. This is not malicious in every case. Many people repeating these messages genuinely believe they are helping you survive. But survival is not the same as living. And surviving is not the same as awakening. The chosen one, and yes, I am speaking to you directly, is not chosen by a lottery or a prophecy. The chosen one is anyone who finally decides to stop outsourcing their truth. Anyone who looks at the world and says, I love this life, but I will not be ruled by its illusions anymore. That decision alone, made sincerely in the quiet of your heart, opens the door that everyone said was not there. In the next part, I will show you something even deeper. I will reveal the hidden contradiction in every system that tries to control you, the flaw they never saw coming, and once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it. Stay with me. Now we go deeper, and I need you to really listen, because what I am about to say may feel uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is not danger. It is the sound of an old cage door opening. Here is the hidden contradiction that every system of control fears the most. They built their power on the idea that you are separate from God, separate from nature, separate from each other. But separation is a lie that can only survive if you never test it. The moment you look inward with honest attention, the lie begins to dissolve. And here is why: you cannot find a place inside yourself where you end, and the rest of the universe begins. Try it right now. Feel your breath. Where does the air outside become the air inside? Feel your thoughts. Where does the world's influence end and your own thought begin? You cannot draw a line, because there is no line. The ancient Gnostics, long before they were erased by the empires that rose against them, taught that the true prison is not a physical place. It is a state of forgetting. They called the false world the kenoma, an illusion of lack, fear, and separation. And they taught that within every human being lies a spark of the true light buried under layers of forgetting. That spark cannot be destroyed. It can only be covered, and the moment you turn your attention toward it, the covering begins to crack. Now here is the part that the mainstream world, including many religions, never told you. The process of awakening is not about becoming perfect. It is not about following rules, earning points, or avoiding punishment. That entire framework is borrowed from the very system of control you are waking up from. No, the real path is much simpler and much harder at the same time. It is about remembering what you already know in your bones and then unlearning everything that contradicts it. Think of a tree. Does a tree struggle to become a tree? Does it pray for sunlight with guilt and shame? Does it compare itself to other trees and feel unworthy? No, it simply grows toward the light because that is its nature. You are exactly the same. Your true nature is not sin, not brokenness, not unworthiness. Your true nature is awareness, love, creativity, and connection. The only reason you do not feel that every moment is because you have been trained to identify with the surface, your job, your body, your past, your fears. But those are not you. They are simply weather passing across the sky of your awareness. And this brings us to a secret so powerful that once you grasp it, you will see the matrix of control everywhere. The secret is this: they can only control what you identify with. If you believe you are your bank account, they can control you with money. If you believe you are your body, they can control you with health fears. If you believe you are your reputation, they can control you with shame. But if you know yourself as the awareness behind all of that, unchanged by gain or loss, untouched by praise or blame, then there is simply no handle left for control to grab. Watch how this plays out in your daily life. Every time you feel anxious, angry, or desperate, ask yourself, what am I identifying with right now? Almost always, you will find that you have temporarily forgotten your true nature and shrunk down into a small, fearful self. That small self is not bad. It is just a costume. But you are not the costume. You are the one wearing it. The truth they hid is not a fact you can write on a piece of paper. It is an experience, and that experience is available to you right now, in this moment, without any intermediary. You do not need a temple, a teacher, or a text. You only need to stop looking outward and turn your gaze inward, not to think about yourself, but simply to be yourself, the awareness that is already here, already whole, already free. In the next section, I will show you exactly how to begin living this truth in your everyday life, not as a philosophy, but as a practice, because knowing is not enough. You must become what you know, and that is where your real power awakens. Not knowing the truth is one thing, living it is another. And this is where most people stop. They hear these ideas, they feel inspired for an hour, and then tomorrow morning they wake up, check their phone, and fall right back into the old dream. That is not weakness, it is habit. And habits can be rewired. But you need tools, simple, practical, daily practices that anchor the truth into your bones, not just your brain. Here is your first practice, and it is deceptively simple. 3 times a day, stop whatever you are doing. It does not matter if you are working, eating, or walking. Just pause, take one slow breath, and ask yourself this question out loud or silently: who is aware of this moment right now? Do not answer with your name, your job, or your story. Just feel the awareness behind the question. That feeling, that wordless sense of I am, is the door. The first week you will forget most of the time. That is fine. Forgive yourself and begin again. By the second week, the pauses will start to find you. By the third week, you will notice something shifting. The world will feel slightly less solid, slightly more like a dream you are waking up inside. Second practice, become aware of your identifications. The next time you feel a strong emotion, anger, fear, jealousy, or even intense excitement, do not react immediately. Instead, pause and say to yourself, I notice I am identifying with the thought that I am hurt, the thought that I am not enough, the thought that I need something. Then ask, what would I feel right now if I stopped believing that thought? You are not trying to kill the emotion. You are simply loosening its grip by seeing it as a temporary cloud, not the sky itself. Do this 10 times and you will begin to experience something extraordinary. Emotions still arise, but they no longer own you. You can feel fear and still act with courage. You can feel anger and still speak with kindness. That is freedom. Third practice, guard your attention like it is the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Every advertisement, every news headline, every social media notification is a tiny tug of war for your awareness. The systems of control do not need you to believe lies. They just need you to stay distracted, to keep your attention bouncing from one thing to the next, so you never look inward. So each morning, before you check your phone, take 5 minutes of silence. Just sit, do nothing, let thoughts come and go. This is not meditation as a religious ritual. It is simply reclaiming your attention from the world that wants to borrow it. Do this for 30 days, and you will notice that you are no longer reactive. You respond instead of react. You choose instead of being pushed. Finally, and this is the most powerful practice of all, speak to yourself differently. Stop calling yourself broken, lazy, sinful, or unworthy. Those words are not truth. They are programs. Instead, each morning, look into your own eyes in a mirror and say quietly, I am awareness itself. I am not my past. I am not my fears. I am here to remember my light. It will feel strange at first, embarrassing even. That is just the old conditioning laughing because it is afraid. Do it anyway. Words shape reality, and the words you speak to yourself shape the only reality you will ever truly live in. You do not need to leave your job, your family, or your life. You only need to bring a new presence into everything you already do. That is the hidden path. Not escaping the world, but seeing it so clearly that it can no longer deceive you. Start today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Right now, in this moment, you already have everything you need. The only question is, will you use it? And so we arrive back where we began, not with an ending but with a beginning. You came here carrying a quiet ache, a sense that something vital had been lost or hidden. Now you know what it was. Not a secret code, not a lost artifact, not a name carved in stone. It was the memory of your own wholeness. The truth they hid is simply this: you were never fallen, you were never broken, you were never separate from the infinite. You only forgot. And forgetting is not a crime, it is an invitation to remember. From this moment forward, the path is yours alone. No one can walk it for you. No teacher, no system, no external authority can hand you what already lives inside your own chest. The door was always there, the lock was never real, and you have always held the key, even when your fingers could not feel it. So here is my final question for you, and I want you to answer it honestly in your heart before you leave this video. If you truly knew that you were already whole, already loved, already free, what would you do differently tomorrow? Do not rush to answer, sit with it. Let that question echo through the rooms of your mind where fear used to live. You are the chosen one, not because you were selected by any outside force, but because you chose to look. And in looking, you found what was never lost. Now go. Not back to sleep, but forward into a life lived with open eyes. Every breath is a chance to remember. Every moment is a door. And you, beautiful soul, were always meant to walk through. If this message touched something real in you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Not to convince them, just to plant a seed. And if you want to continue walking this path, I will be here with more truths in the next video. Until then, stay awake, stay kind. And never forget, the light you are seeking is the light you already are.